Hello, I'm Will. This is Mike. We're the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And today we're bringing you issue 69 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine. This issue came with the Plague Marine champion that you can see on your screen right now. And as always, if you want to skip straight ahead to the battle report, there is a timecode in the description for you to do that if you don't want to see the issue contents. But having a look inside, we've got Dark Angels successor chapters. So there's a few here. There's the Angels of Redemption, the Angels of Absolution, Angels of Vengeance, so the classic ones, and then there's Blades of Vengeance are a new Primaris only one. And then some more over the page. Then we have more armies of the Imperium, the Astra Militarum, with the normal human fighting forces of the Imperium, also known as the Imperial Guard. And, that picture pretty much sums it up. Lots of men with guns, and then there's various regiments over the page with different uniforms. There's many different ways of doing war as there are planets in the Imperium, pretty much. And then there's a showcase of their miniatures as well. So, another big thing is obviously tanks. Various fighting vehicles, and then we've also got some infantry models there. Then we have the history of the Indomitus Crusade, which is the offensive launched by Rabute Gilliman, who you can see in the picture, to retake parts of the Imperium after the opening of the Great Rift across the galaxy, which caused a lot of havoc, but this crusade was to try and reclaim some ground. As it says there, we shall restore the light of the Imperium and bring order to chaos. That was its objective. Then Demons of Nurgle Epidemius, who is the tallyman of Nurgle, who goes around counting up the many diseases created by Nurgle. There he is as his model. He sits on a palanquin carried by Nurglings. And we have Legacy of Secrecy, which is more history of the Dark Angels, the current time, and how the Dark Angels reacted to the appearance of the Primaris Space Marines, because they didn't trust them at first. Now we have our build instructions for the new Plague Marine champion. He comes in a few parts. There's a choice of head when making him, but otherwise it's a single pose model. And then how to paint him, of course. Just seen this all before. This is just how to paint the Death Guard models. The magazine's already showed us. The only vaguely new thing is the blue edging on the sword that we were shown how to do a couple of issues ago, just to make it stand out. But that'll be it for this issue. We will be on to our mission now.
So, on to our mission for this week. This mission will take place in the city, or in the outskirts of the city of Kendris, which has apparently changed hands several times during the conflict, as now the streets are filled with Poxwalkers and the Walking Dead. And the Space Marines have been manning barricades to stop the Poxwalkers getting out, but the Death Guard have found a route to outflank them, and so they can take out the defenders and unleash the Poxwalkers onto the rest of the planet. So we're heading to our mission Outflanked. So you can see we've got our board set up here. We've got the spaceport map on the left, then the city map, and then the Mechanicus map, with the Death Guard deployment zone in the spaceport. The Space Marines have a deployment zone along the centre of the city map, and then the Mechanicus map is a objective zone, with the Space Marines moving on from the edge of the Mechanicus map. And as it says, as usual, you set up the battle maps and then set up the terrain however you want. For the armies, we've got a maximum power of 40, with 3 command points each. The Space Marine player deploys one of their battle line units, or troops units as it's called in the rulebook. It doesn't say you actually have to take any battle line units, but presumably you should. So you deploy one of the battle line units along this deployment zone, while the rest move on at the end of the Space Marine player's first movement phase. So after the Space Marines have deployed their battle line unit, the Death Guard player deploys all their units in their deployment zone, and the Death Guard get to go first. And for victory conditions, the Death Guard score 2 victory points for each unit in the objective zone, so the Mechanicus map. Both sides get a victory point for killing the enemy Warlord, and then the Space Marines get a victory point for each enemy unit eliminate, and the game lasts for 5 battle rounds. So we'll go into the armies we've come up with, and then have a quick look at the battlefield. So here's the Space Marine army I came up with. In the front we have the Captain with the Power Maul and Plasma Pistol. We have a 10-man squad of Intercessors as the battle line unit trying the road. 5 Hellblasters. The Land Speeder with the Missile Launcher and Multi-Melter, the Sniper Scouts also with the Missile Launcher, and a squad of 5 Reavers. And obviously the Captain will be my Warlord as he's the only character, and I'm going to give him the Storm of Fire trait. And here's our Death Guard army. So in the front we have the Foul Blight Spawn and the Noxious Blightbringer, and then just to the left we have a squad of 5 Plague Marines with a Blight Launcher and a Champion with a Plasma Gun and Power Fist. There's the Mephitic Blight Hauler, Chaos Rhino, another 5-man Plague Marine squad, also with a Blight Launcher and a Champion with a Plasma Gun and a Power Fist. And then we have a 4-man Plague Marine squad with the new Champion, so he has a Bolt Gun and a Power Fist. There's also a Plasma Gunner and the Icon of Despair in that unit.
Yeah, so in the mission I have to get stuff across the board and then have it stick there, and having quite a few units would be an advantage, so I've actually used almost all of the Plague Marines we have.
Yeah, this is actually every Plague Marine that comes with the magazine except for the last Champion, the one from Dark Imperium. And just a reminder that you can, according to the magazine, have a 4-man Plague Marine squad. You can actually have a 3-man Plague Marine squad legally.
And my warlord will be the Foul Blightspawn, and he will have Arch Contaminator, which is the one that makes plague weapons reroll everything to wound.
So here you can see the board set up. We've got our spaceport mat here. It's reasonably open. We've got the Alchemite stack and one of the plasma regulators and the Hemotrip reactor, as well as a little barricade with some war drums and ammo boxes nearby. Then here in the city map, you've got some ammo boxes. You've got 2 bits of area terrain, so there's this little area here and this area here. The roadblock in the middle, near where the intercessors will deploy. Then up in the top, you've got a pipeline with some oil drums next to it, and then a couple of the Munitorium armor containers with some more ammo boxes. And then finally we have the Mechanicus map with another big ruin up in the top left of it, and a Hemotrip reactor with another pipeline. And down here is the other regulator, some pipes across the middle, some ammo boxes, an ore drum next to the Galvanic Saber Hauler, and the final container down at the bottom. So with our brief overview of the battlefield, I'll deploy my Intercessor squad, and then the Death Guard will deploy. So there I've deployed my Intercessor squad, and the Death Guard have finished deploying, so my Intercessor squad is just here, all clustered around this Galvanic Saber Hauler. While with the Death Guard, bottom to top we have one of the 5-man Plague Marine units, then the Noxious Blightbringer, the Blight Hauler, the Rhino with no one actually in it, and then there's the Foul Blightspawn just here, and then there's the 4-man Plague Marine squad, and then the other 5-man Plague Marine squad all sort of clumped together. So we'll head into Death Guard turn 1.
So I'll show you my movement phase so far. The Rhino has moved up all the way over here to try and get as far forward as possible. The Blight Hauler has moved to there, it's within range of those ammo boxes. A squad of 5 Plague Marines here, just about within 2 inches of those ammo boxes, and the Noxious Blightbringer behind them. 4-man Plague Marine squad have moved to there, and then I need to advance with the Foul Blightspawn. So he's within 7 inches of the Bellman, so he can roll 2 dice, and we get a 4, so that'll be 9 inches. Yeah. So he'll get himself to there, just behind the Rhino. And then the final Plague Marine squad have moved up like that, and we will be on to the shooting phase. Start shooting with Foul Blightspawn, who will shoot at the Intercessors, obviously, they're the only target. So 2d6 strength, 6, I'll take d6 automatic hits, 1. I will reroll that because I kind of want to get rid of these Intercessors, they're in the way. So command point gone already. 3, I roll across the top. It was a 3. Wounding on 3's rerolling everything because of his Warlord trait. Okay, well that's 3 wounds.
So the Foul Blightspawn is slightly closer to the Intercessors than he is to the Saber Hauler, so I don't get the bonus from cover. So that'll be 3 6+ armor saves for the Intercessors, which I made none of, so 3 of them will die. Take away these 3 at the back.
We'll do the Blight Hauler next. Start with the Multi-Melter, 1 shot on a 4. Rerolling 1s because it is next to some ammo boxes. Nope, still can't hit. Crack Missile, much the same. That did hit, wounds on a 2. Nope, not rerolling 1s. And then the Bile Spurt, D3 shots, 2, hitting on 4s. He did, wounding on 3s. Yeah, 2 wounds.
2 wounds. So it's definitely closer to the Saber Hauler, so I will get the benefit of cover, so that'll be 2 3+ saves. So that's 2 3+ armor saves, because the bonus from cover negates the -1 EP. I made 1 and failed 1, and I'll just take that, so an Intercessor will take a wound. And I'll put it on that guy.
Try and finish him off with the Noxious Blightbringer's Plasma Pistol, not supercharging. So 1 shot on hitting on a 3. It did, wounding on a 3. Yep.
So I've got cover again, so a 5+ armor save, which I didn't make, so the wounded Intercessor will die.
And now we move on to the many Plague Marines. We'll start with this squad of 5 at the back. So we'll do the Blight Launcher first, hitting on 3s, no rerolls. 2 hits, wounding on 3s, rerolling everything. They're both wounded.
Get cover, so it's 2 4+ armor saves. Made on failed 1.
D3 damage. 1. Yeah, I'll take that.
So I'll put it on this guy.
Plasma gun next. Won't supercharge, so 2 shots on 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on 3. Yep.
5+ armor save. Yes.
Then we've got 4 shots from bolt guns on 3s. They all hit. Wounding on 4s. 1. Yeah, 1 wound. Should have had another 2 shots because I forgot it was. Well, they both missed. So
there we go. So 1 wound went through, 2+ armor save, which I made.
We'll do this squad over here in the ruins. We will start with the 2 bolt guns who can see because there's a guy on a wound.
And the man at the end can't see anyone, I assume.
So only 4 shots. I haven't got ammo boxes this time though, so I'm rerolling 1s, but that's just 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1.
2+ armor save again. Saber Hauler's slightly too long. So that should be a success either way.
Do the Blight Launcher next, 2 shots on 3s, rerolling 1s, but no, 1 hit, winning on 3. Yep.
You can see there it's pretty close as to whether the Galvanic Server Hauler is closer to the Blight Launcher or not. So we're just going to say that it isn't, so I don't get the benefit of cover. So it's a 5+ armor save, which I failed, so the wounded intercessor will die. Yeah.
And finally, we've got a plasma gun, which we will now supercharge because we have an ammo box. So 2 shots on 3s, rerolling double 1. Oh, okay, right, so 1 hit, wounding on a 2. It did, but he is definitely getting cover from this.
Yeah, so there's a 5+ armor save there, which I failed, so another intercessor will die. That guy.
We've got a 4-man squad now. The champion will throw a crack grenade because he's closer, and this champion only has a bolt gun, so I'm not worried about losing that. So we'll do that first because there is nobody wounded at the moment. So 1 shot on 3. Yep, wounding on 3. Yep.
Server Hauler's in the way, so there's a 3+ armor save, which I made.
Now we've got a plasma gun, not supercharging. 2 shots on 3s. Double 1. That's the third double 1 I've rolled this shooting phase. And then we've got 4 bolt gun shots on 3s. Wow, that's impressive, but hey, it's only bolt guns, I don't really care that much. Then we've got the Rhino is the only thing left, so we'll do the we'll do the combi bolt first, definitely in rapid fire range. So 3s rolling 1s, they will hit, and 4s, 2, and it's definitely closer to them than it is to the Server Hauler.
So that's 2 3+ armor saves, not made one failed one. So intercessor at the back takes a wound.
And then finally the Havoc Launcher, d6 shots, 5, hitting on 4s because it moved, rerolling 1s. There's a 1. Nope, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1.
3+ armor save. Made it. And that is all the shooting.
Yes, so now on to the charge phase. We'll charge with the 4-man Plague Marine squad first into the intercessors.
Yep. On Overwatch, 1 guy will throw a crack grenade and then the other 3 will fire their bolt rifles. So crack grenade, hits, wounds on 3. It does.
I get cover though because of the Blight Hauler, so this is a 3+. Nope.
D3 damage. 2.
And I done 6
you
for
go.
disgusting resilient.
So you're fine. And then 6 bolt rifle shots hitting on 6s. No, nothing at all.
Okay.
Not re-rolling 1s because the ammo boxes only work in the shooting phase. So your charge distance
is a 6. That is enough. So they get to there like that, and then we might as well roll for this other Plague Marine squad. They need something pretty big to squeeze their way in, but it's worth a go. 10 might be enough.
Yeah, that might be enough to get them all the way around.
So they're like this. The champion came through this gap and ended up over here, and then he's been followed by 2 bolt guns. These 2 models are kind of here on top of the tank trap because it doesn't impede movement of infantry, but I'll put them here for now and I'll pile them in a second. But there won't be any more charges, so I'll start with the 5-man squad of Plague Marines fighting. So they pile in like that, and then they will all get to fight, and we'll do the 4 knives first because there is an intercessor on a wound. So Plague Knives hitting on 3s, re-rolling nothing, but that's the Death of the False Emperor, which does not get an extra hit, so 3 hits, wounding on 4s, but rerolling everything thanks to Arch Contaminator, good thing. 2 wounds.
2 3+ armor saves, made both.
Then we have the Power Fist hitting on 4s, nope, and then...
So I'm not going to spend any command points to intervene.
Okay, and then I've got the other Plague Marine squad who need to pile in as well.
So that's these 4 here.
They pile in like that, so they're all within their incoherency and they're all in range to fight. And we'll start with the knives again. 3 attacks on 3s. Oh dear, oh dear. 1 hit. Wounding on a 4, re-rolling everything. It wounded.
3+ armor save. Made it.
And Power Fists. Oh, goodness me.
Oh, so
No hits from that.
some intercessors survive to strike back. So the intercessors get to fight. This guy will just pile in this way, just so because he has to maintain coherency. And then they'll put all their attacks on the 4-man Plague Marine squad. So the intercessors have 9 attacks between them, hitting on 3s. 4 hits, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds though.
3+ saves. Oh, failed 1. Disgustingly resilient. Oh, made it.
Yeah, you're fine. The intercessor squad has to make a morale test, so they're at -6 for 6 casualties, and their leadership 8 because of the icon of despair. So I need to roll a 1 or a 2. Nope, but I get to re-roll failed morale tests because of Space Marines. Oh, that's even worse. So that will be 12, so they'll actually all run away. So we'll head into Space Marines, turn 1. So in my movement phase, nothing happens because I don't have any models on the board, but luckily at the end of the movement phase, my reinforcements can move on. So here you can see I've brought my reinforcements on. Down here we have the Reaver squad, then the Sniper Scouts next to these ammo boxes, and they're all within an inch of it, the Hellblasters, the Captain, and the Landspeeder. And the Captain is within range of Hellblasters, the Sniper Scouts, and the Landspeeder for Storm of Fire purposes. And with that, it'll be on to the shooting phase. So I'll start with the land speeder. It's going to fire its missiles into the blight hauler. We've got 2 shots hitting on 4s because technically it moved. We're re-rolling 1s because of the captain. We've got 1 hit. Wounding on 3s. That is a wound.
5+ invulnerable save, or armor save, doesn't matter. I did.
Next I'll do the sniper scouts. The 4 snipers are going to shoot at the foul blight spawn, while the man with the missile launcher will shoot at the blight hauler. So the 4 snipers have 1 shot each, hitting on 4s because they are sniper rifles are heavy weapons and they moved. Re-rolling 1s because of captain ammo boxes, but that's no hits at all. And then the missile launcher also hitting on a 4, but re-rolling 1s. Gets a hit. Wounds on 3, it's a crack missile I should have said. I will re-roll that because I need to do some damage to something. So that is a wound.
So 5+ again. Yep.
And finally I'll do the Hellblasters. They're going to shoot at this Plague Marine squad, this 5-man one, out in the open. So I will supercharge because we've got a captain nearby, so 5 shots, hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. Re-rolling those 2 1s. Oh, there's a 1 there, so one of them blows up. So we'll do number 1 is the captain, and then 2, 3, 4 and 5. It's a regular man, so a regular man will blow up. This Hellblaster is the one who blew up. And then I got 3 hits, wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds.
Which I do get a 6+ save thanks to the blight hauler.
-4.
So I did make 1, and then disgustingly resilient. Yeah, you did kill 1.
I killed a Plague Marine at last.
We'll take away the bolt gun, who is furthest from things.
That will be the end of my turn, because I'm far too far away to charge and there's no need for any morale tests or anything. So we'll be on to Death Guard, turn 2.
In my movement phase, the squad that just took a casualty have moved up their 5, so they're now all in range of stuff. This other squad of 5 are not in range, and what they're going to do is move within 3 inches of the Rhino and then embark onto it. So they've done that, and I'm going to take them away, so they're now in the Rhino. The 4-man squad will do the same. To get with everyone within 3 inches of the transport, they actually have to advance, so this man isn't within 3 inches, but with a 1-inch advance, he will make it, so I won't bother rolling it, so they will also get on board. And the Foul Blight spawn will also jump on. Now the Rhino itself will advance, and I will roll 2 dice for that because of the Noxus Blightbringer, getting an extra 5. Then the Blight Hauler has just moved up here just to keep these Plague Marines in cover, and finally the Noxus Blightbringer will advance, going an extra 4 inches. And then in the movement phase as well, I will play a Cloud of Flies on the squad of 4 Plague Marines who are still out in the open. So, actually, yeah, slight adjustment. I sent the Blight Hauler over here because its multi-melter wasn't in range, and basically I positioned these Plague Marines badly, but I was going to have to live with it, so it's going to go over there instead. And then we will be on to the shooting phase. We will start with the Blight Hauler. It will shoot its multi-melter at the Hellblasters and a missile launcher at the land speeder. Multi-melter at the Hellblasters on not rerolling 1s, 4 rerolling 1s, that missed because I'm not close to the ammo box anymore, and the crack missile, same thing. That did hit. Wounds on a 3. Yes.
So 5+ armor save for the land speeder, made it.
The Rhino will fire its smoke launchers before I forget, so that will be -1 to hit in your shooting phase. And then all that left is the 4 Plague Marines. They'll shoot everything at the Hellblasters. So the Blight Launcher on 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s, 2 wounds.
It's 2 5+ saves. Made 1, failed 1, I'll take that.
Okay, and D3 damage does 3, so.
Hellblaster dies. Take away this guy, because.
Then 1 shot from a plasma gun, not supercharging, on 3, missed, and 2 shots from bolt guns on 3s. 1 hit, reroll. No, sorry, wounding on 4, yep.
3+ armor save, made it.
That will be it for my turn, because no more shooting and I can't charge.
Okay, so we'll be on to Space Marines, turn 2. So my movement phase, there's not too much movement. The Reavers have moved up to get closer to the Rhino, and the Hellblasters have shuffled along a bit, so they're all within 15 inches of the Rhino as well. The Sniper Scouts, the Land Speeder and the Captain are going to stay where they are. So we'll be on to the shooting phase. So I'll start shooting with the Land Speeder. It's going to put all of its weapons into the Rhino. So the multi-melter is 1 shot hitting on a 4 because of the smoke launchers. It hit. Wounds on a 3. It wounded.
No save.
Straight up D6 damage. I'm going to re-roll that 1. Into a 3. Rhino's down to 7. The 2 missile launchers also hitting on 4s. Got 2 re-rolling 1s because of the Captain. It's 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. I'll re-roll that. Need to kill this thing. Wounded, AP -1, an extra -1 AP. So
yes, because of Storm of Fire, so a 6, that'll do.
I'll do the Reavers next. So the one of them will throw a crack grenade because they're in range, and then the other 4 fire their pistols. crack grenade hitting on a 4, hits, wounds on a 5. Oh, wounds.
Oh, it did. 4 plus. Yep.
D3 damage. 3. So it's down to 4. Then we've got 4 bolt pistols hitting on 4s. It's 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. Nothing. So I'll do the Hellblasters next. They're also going to shoot the Rhino. Not going to overcharge. So we've got 6 shots hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. 4 hits. Wounding on 4s, just spent 7. It's 2 wounds.
Yep, they just go straight through.
Yep, so it's down to 2. And finally the Sniper Scouts will shoot all of their guns at it as well because they can't see the Blightbringer, so might as well try and chip off its last wounds with mortal wounds. So I'll do the missile launcher first just in case. It hits on a 5, wounds on a 3, it wounded.
5 plus. Nope.
D6 damage. 3, so it dies.
Okay, and does it explode? Because it is within range of the Reavers, it does not. So they will have to be disembarked within 3 inches of the Rhino, and then I have to roll a d6 for every model, so that's just 10d6, and then any ones will result in deaths. Rolling my dice. We have got 2 ones, so we lose 2 Plague Marines basically. Just take those 2 bolt guns from the back of the bigger squad.
Rhino goes away, and I also gain a victory point for killing a unit. But that is the end of my shooting phase. So in the charge phase, the Reaver squad will declare a charge on this squad of Plague Marines only.
So we'll overwatch, we'll start with the plasma gun, it won't supercharge. 2 shots on. For 6s, nothing, and then we've got 3 bolt guns, because this champion is the one with the bolt gun, so 6 shots. We've got a hit, 4, nope.
And then my charge distance is a 3, which definitely isn't enough. So that'll be the end of my turn. This Plague Marine squad took 2 casualties, that's not enough to make a morale test, so we're on to Death Guard turn 3.
So starting with the guys who died from the Rhino in my movement, they've just moved forward. Over here, the 5-man Plague Marine squad have moved near these ammo boxes. Blight Horror is there. The characters will both advance. We'll start with the Noxus Blightbringer. He gets to go 9 inches, and that brings him close enough to Foul Blight spawn, so he can now use 2 dice. So I'll get both in the box, no, only an extra 2. And then that brings him just to there, which is where I wanted him anyway. So we'll be on to the shooting phase. We'll start with the Foul Blight spawn, because he's only got 1 target in range, which is the Reavers. Strength 2d6, 7. D6 hits, 5. Wounding on 3s for rolling everything because of his Warlock trait. 3 ones. 4 wounds.
4 6+ saves. Well, I made 1, so 3 Reavers die. So I'll just take away these 3.
Next we'll come over here with the Blight Hauler, and it's going to shoot both its guns at the Land Speeder. Multi-melter hitting on 4. Nope, not near an ammo box. Crack missile on 4. That did hit. Wounding on a 3. Nope. I spend my last command point to re-roll that because I don't think I have any other use for it at this point. Get that dice in the box. Yes, that is a wound.
5+ armor save. Oh, I made that one.
We'll do this 4-man squad of Plague Marines next. We're going to put the plasma gun into the Hellblasters over here, and the 2 bolt guns and the Foul Blight spawn special grenade, which will be thrown by this man, why not, into the Reavers. Yep, so plasma gun with the ammo box we will supercharge on 3s, that's 2 hits. Wounding on 2s, that is 2 wounds.
2 6+ saves. Made neither, so 2 Hellblasters die. So the 2 regular Hellblasters go down.
Then we'll do the Unholy Death's Head grenade from one of the bolt guns. So this is grenade 2d6, so it'll be 7. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. That's 2 1s. So 6 hits. Wounding on 5s, but rerolling everything. That's the 5 Foul Blight Spawn's Warlord trait. 1 wound so far, but rerolling. No, still only 1 wound, and there's no AP.
3+ armor save, which I failed. So the regular Reaver takes a wound.
Then we've got 4 shots from bolt guns left on 3s, rerolling 1s. 3 hits, wounding on 4s. All of them.
3+ armor saves. Made 1, failed 2, so regular Reaver dies. Sarge is left on 1 wound.
We'll do this 3-man squad of Plague Marines next. We'll put the plasma gun and the bolt gun into the scouts and the blight launcher into the Hellblaster sergeant. Blight launcher first, I think. So 2 shots on 3s, rerolling 1s because they are near an ammo box. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. Yep.
5+ armor saves. Oh, I made 1, failed 1.
D3. Oh, he takes 1 damage.
Hellblaster sergeant is down to 1 wound.
Gun at the scouts, I won't supercharge.
There's no real reason to.
Good thing, but I can re-roll that one. But there we go.
Yeah.
He would have died. 1 hit, wounding on a 3. It did.
But I got +2 from being in cover and my camo cloak, so it's a 5+ armor save.
Yeah.
Nope, so a scout will die. Take away that scout at the back.
And bolt round 2 shots. They both hit, wounding on 4s. 1.
2+ armour save. Made it.
And then we finally got this Plague Marine squad here. They'll put everything into the land speeder. I don't think they're going to be within rapid fire range. Not in rapid fire range, so the plasma will be 1 shot, but will supercharge because ammo box hit. Wounds on a 4. No, sorry, 3. It did, but you do get cover from this angle.
Yeah, because it's secured by the hemotrope reactor, so it's a 5+ armour save. Get it in the box. Nope, so it takes 2 damage, down to 4.
Next we've got the Blight Launcher on 3s. That's 2 hits, wounding on 3s. 2 wounds. Yes, you do have cover from this angle.
Yeah, so 4+ armour saves. Oh, I failed both.
Alright, 2d3 damage. Only 3. Still there.
Still there on 1 wound.
Can the 2 bolt gun shots finish it off? Ooh, they both hit. 1 wounded, it's toughness 5.
Got cover, so it's a 2+ armour save. Made it. So land speeder is on 1 wound.
In the charge phase, the 4-man squad of Plague Marines will charge the Reaver Sergeant.
Okay, he'll throw a shock grenade. Oh, he got 3 shots. 6s. Oh, he got a hit.
Oh, that makes power fist fairly ineffectual. Their charge distance is 11.
Yeah.
So they'll end up here like that, and I won't declare any more charges because I don't want Foul from getting in closer. So we'll pile in and make sure everyone can fight. First, even though we're -1 to hit, so 2 attacks on 5s. Oh, alright, they both hit.
There you go.
2 wounds.
6+. He's dead.
He's dead.
Sarge dies.
And then they will pile in into the scouts like that, but that'll be the end of my turn.
Yep, and I'm just going to concede because I have 7 models left, most of which are on 1 wound. I mean, technically they have no victory points at the moment, but we've got 1, 2, 3 units in the objective zone, so that'll be 6, and I only have 1, so there'll be a Death Guard victory. We'll recap that for you now. So that was the mission for issue 69 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. How did you think that went?
Well, it went fairly to plan, to be honest. I put a lot of units in my army, and the intention was to get as many of them into your deployment zone as possible, and it kind of worked.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think it went just about perfectly for you. My army did so spectacularly poorly that it's kind of hard to say what would you have done differently. Well, everything, I guess. Maybe target prioritization and maybe not re-rolling some misses into hits, but I mean...
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of your re-rolls, you spent a command point and then were scuppered because I rolled well for my armor save, and it's like, well, there's not much you can do about that, it's just bad luck, but it's annoying when it happens. I definitely made a few discussing resilience and armor saves at key points, which was helpful.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few bits that it might have turned out differently if it had gone my way, like if I killed the Rhino with the land speeder, then I could have shot at your guys as they were getting out.
Yeah, and it's just little things like that.
Or if the Reavers had made their charge. I mean, I might have been able to deny you 2 Plague Marine squads worth of shooting.
Yeah, exactly. You might have been able to pile into stuff But I picked an army that I knew would be good at this mission. Plague Marines, who are very tough and hard to get rid of. I had lots of units, so I had plenty of potential victory points. And again, this is one of these ones, is that if the magazine had picked forces for this, they probably would have given me a load of Poxwalkers or something, and then I have to run them across the board. I mean, the actual reason I didn't take Poxwalkers is because the mission narrative was supposed to be the Poxwalkers are inside, and I'm trying to break them out. So that's actually why I didn't take any. But,
well, I mean, you did debate taking the Terminators and a Lord of Contagion, because you could just teleport them into the objective zone straight away.
I did.
But the Terminators are overpriced.
The fact is that I thought about that because it would have been a big rock thing that you would have had to dispose of.
But it would have taken just over half your power for 4 models.
Yeah, I experimented with trying to put that together, and I just didn't have enough power left to buy other units. The other thing, of course, is that if those guys are in the teleportarium, I have to get rid of your guys in the middle some other way. So by starting with, because I could bring them down, but there's no guarantee they'd make their charge. So in order to make sure I actually wiped out your unit that starts in the middle, I had to have a lot on the board. That was my plan, and it worked.
I think a lot of the problem is that it's just getting rid of Plague Marines.
Yeah, they're just so difficult. And if I bung them in a Rhino, then and play Cloud of Flies on the other one, you can't bring that firepower to bear on the Plague Marines, which is what you really want to be killing, not the Rhino. The Rhino was definitely acceptable losses because it's only 4 power. I mean, it did its job. It got stuff into your deployment zone.
You lost as many models to it blowing up as you did to my actual shooting.
Yeah, indeed. I feel like it helped that I start within range of some of your forces and I can just charge in and wipe them out.
I probably should have just gone for the 5-man squad of intercessors and then just assumed they were all going to die in the first turn. I would have had 5 power to play with, but I'm not sure what I would have bought. Maybe another 5 intercessors or lieutenant or something.
No, it's interesting actually. For the couple of issues we've been choosing our own armies using power, we've suddenly sort of found, I could take this, but this is much better.
Yeah.
And it's particularly the case with the Space Marines, is that there are some things that you don't really want to do without, like Hellblasters.
Yeah, and I mean, I could have taken the bikes or something, but I mean, I don't think they would have made too much difference. I mean, I guess I could have tried to fit the Dreadnought in as well.
I mean, that would have scared me a bit, because the Blight Hauler can deal with it, but not if it rolls like it did, because it didn't do anything.
And I mean, I could have taken something like the Aggressors, but again, I just thought they'd just get shot out before they go anywhere. And the Inceptors are a bit too overpriced. Frankly, the Dreadnought is as well.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just lots of characters. Wanted to go more troops heavy in this mission, because going character heavy in the past hasn't worked quite so well.
But I guess the fact is that I took 2 cheap characters, both of whom did their job very well. I mean, the Foul Blight Spawn obviously does what he does, but the Blightbringer was useful. But he has been useful for me. I'm tempted to retract previous statements to the effect that the Noctis Blightbringer is the most useless Death Card character, and say that in fact the Biologos Putrifier is the most useless character, because the Bellman has been useful for me in a few recent games, just helping people move across the board. I wanted to get all of the Plague Marines out of the box to see how they do as well. Another thing.
And as we said, this is actually basically all the Plague Marines you get with a magazine.
I think there are enough normal guys you could make 4 squads each with a champion, but...
they'd be squads of 3 men.
I would rather take units of 7 Plague Marines, because then you just get more bodies to protect the special weapons, but that costs 13 power according to the magazine, so you won't see that in these games unless they change it. Yeah, I mean, I suppose we could talk about the new champion briefly. He is slightly better than the one from the Dark Imperium one, so the other one with the Plague Sword, because he has a bolt gun rather than a bolt pistol. But otherwise, he's still never going to come out the box while I have champions with plasma guns available.
Yeah, I can't really add anything to that. He's like the Icon Bearer in that. To buy him outside the magazine, he's £17.50. Well, I think last time I said that the Plague Marine box was £35, it's actually £30, so he actually costs more than half of a box of 7 Plague Marines, when you can build a champion in that. But you can also buy the easy-to-build Plague Marines, which gives you 3 Plague Marines, including a champion, for £10.
Yeah, unless you're a collector and you want all the miniatures, then...
I mean, technically, you might need to buy this guy twice if you wanted both options, helmetless and with a helmet.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then the magazine is relatively good value for him. You get him for less than half price, but it still doesn't make him...
It's kind of laughable to call it good value for a model that's literally just a guy, a 1-wound unit leader, not even a character. So I don't know if there's too much more to say about this mission, so if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe. Leave any comments if you played the scenario, tell us how it went, how do you feel about the new champion, and so on. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye for now.